this idea of removing the chains from the NFL sidelines, I don't love the idea of not seeing where the ball is. I understand fully the technology may make it for a more accurate reading, but there's something about me just liking to see football the way that it was before, right? Like, love to see the actual guys with chains, even in those, those times where like they're fumbling around and they're not quite sure if they grab the chain at the right spot. And it's like, it's always a little, you're like, maybe I'm getting screwed by this guy. You start Googling, where's this official actually from? Is he connected? Is he from Indianapolis? Is this why the chain? Do you feel this way, or are you like, just get rid of the chain gang? We just want the best technology. Where are you at? I'm gonna start with Mike because he's younger. Maybe his opinion is different than mine. Where are you at on this one, Mike?
I feel like they can get rid of the chain gang, but they still have to put some kind of marker on the field for the players and the coaches to see where the first down is, where the line of scrimmage is. All of that is still going to need to be marked in some way, shape, or form. So, like, are they really removing the chain gang, or are they just using the microchip to determine first downs, where we're not going to have to use an index card to determine first downs anymore? I do like the tradition of like everyone huddling around, like, oh, is it a first down? Is it not? What's going on? But we don't need it. It's a waste of time. I'd rather give the time for pass interference to be reviewed than to be able to measure these first downs, for sure.
Whatever.
Why wouldn't you want technology to be correct, Tony? Why wouldn't you root for something to be 100%? If it crosses the goal line, if it crosses this, you want that, and that ball can tell you exactly where it was, then you go with it. I don't understand why you would be against it. Like, you're getting rid of these chain marks that, okay, you don't even need anymore. Like, you're still going to have the guy standing there with a first down. You're just not going to have that long-ass chain anymore. That's it. You're just getting rid of the chain.
I like it. I just feel like it's been there forever. I don't want any more changes. I mean, the NFL is already going to start putting ads on jerseys. They're going to pretty soon. We're going to be looking up, and the goalposts are going to have Red Bull up the side of it or something. Like, everything is. It's not. They're just changing too much, and I'm showing my age. Like, I just don't like all of the massive amounts of change, which is going to be kind of weird when we get to the jersey conversation. Although fitting, but. It's exciting. The stuff Mike talked about is exciting, Joe. Watching the defense be there at the line of scrimmage at that moment, and then they realize they just got a fourth down stop, the way they celebrate, there's nothing better than that to me.
They're still going to celebrate the same way.
But it's not got the same buildup of just a bunch of weird old people like stretching out like chain link Home Depot, and then all of a sudden they see it and you just see the reaction. It's like, great, offense, get on the field. Defense is coming off super hyped. Like, I love those moments.
I do see what old people are kind of saying, Tony, because like you just open the door a little bit more. Like the door's already been cracked a little. And it's pushed open a little bit more to just technology full on calling the entire game. But the refs are so bad that I'm getting to a point where technology calling the entire game might not be such a terrible thing to think about, even though it's going to completely change the way everything looks and the way everything operates. If, an AI robot is calling the calls directly down the middle with no bias, and he doesn't need eyes to see if it's right because he has 100 camera angles. He isn't even a he or a she. He's just a robot. So he doesn't even have a gender. So there is nothing that could be said about rigged games or anything ever again. I don't know. That's the one thing I could see people getting upset about is like, this is something really small, minute, very small addition, but like using a microchip to place the ball, like football fans from before where this sport grew on and has a foundation on would never even fathom that small little thing happening. You're cracking the door a little bit more to just full on technology invading the game. Like I see that baseball, they have like the strike animation, like when a pitcher pitches the ball and you can see if it was a strike or not, and you can see if the ump got it wrong. Like I feel like they're like kind of hinting like we could just use a computer to call strikes and balls here if we needed to.
Mike, this is the same old man, Tony Tucker, right here, that was just texting us the other day that he wanted hologram football to be played. So they don't even have to travel.
Time out.
right?
Time
So he was
out.
like,
That is out of context. What I am talking about is asking these athletes to fly to Australia to play a game. I'm saying if they want to have football in an Australian stadium, make it hologram technology there. So you still fly around the States and you do all that normal stuff, but we're asking people to fly to Brazil to market the game. What I'm saying is let's just put the hologram technology in these other places, not actually in the States. They still need to fly around to the States and make that stuff happen. Don't take me out of
just put
context.
the VR stuff. Just put the VR on them and let them play like that. They don't even have to get on the field. They'll just put VR and they'll just like this.
Well, then at
I'll
that
tell you
point,
what.
more people might be able to play.
That's the only way Patrick Mahomes is beating Tom Brady's records. I'll tell you that right now. Start playing VR football because he ain't gonna be playing into his.
Don't put that kind of jinx out there. We don't want to be testing to see like, oh, whoa, it's already bad enough that all year it's going to be like, can the Chiefs be the first team to three-peat? It's nauseating. Like, I really will celebrate them getting knocked out before the Super Bowl. Like, maybe I haven't celebrated since probably the Patriots lost in the AFC Championship game to the Broncos that one year. Like, it was done. Like, I just don't need another Chiefs Super Bowl this year.
They're already putting microchips in everything else, Tony. They already got them in shoulder pads on the players. Like, that's how you get those next gen stats. Like, do you watch on Thursday Night Football? I don't know if you guys still do it, but on Thursday Night Football on Amazon, they give you 2 options to watch football. And one of them is the next gen, where it's actually showing you how fast they're running, the route they're running, and everything else. So, I mean, we're already almost to where you don't want to be, Tony.
Yeah, well, I mean, we definitely have moved in that direction quite a bit, but it's sort of like what they did in tennis, right? Like you had the marker, and all of a sudden they started saying like, the players were like, all right, we'll rely on technology because it seems better. But guess what? They still disagreed with technology. They still disagree with the tracers inside the tennis balls, going like that serve did not hit the line. You got a glitch in your system. So like there's still going to be arguments. Everybody thinks that computers solve everything. Look what the internet did. I think the internet has divided us just as much as pre-internet. Like it's not like things got a ton better with the invention of the technology.
As an online entrepreneur, that's a whole other topic that we can go down, Tony. But I do agree. Some new conspiracies could be started. I was sitting next to a dumbass Raiders fan at the 63-point game that we all forgot about by now because it was so long ago, that was telling me that he thinks that there's magnets in the footballs and the NFL can just turn them on and it just repels the football away from the goalpost. So like when they need a team to miss a field goal, they just turn them bitches on and it just sends the ball as far away from the goalpost as possible, which would explain why Cameron Dicker missed that kick in that 27-point lead blown. Also, why am I bringing up all the bad things that happened to the Chargers over the last couple of years? But they're saying that they could use the technology to rig the games even more. We start seeing conspiracies like that, start to arise from the robots rigging the games. Can the AI robot also put a bet in? Does that make it so the robot can't put the bet in just like a human, or?
You can bet on it. You can bet on it as long as it's not your same team.
Okay.
And you don't do it in the buildings.
Wait,
do you remember this game, Cyber Bowl?
I do not remember this ball. Happy Friday. Good morning or afternoon, wherever you're at, to Harrison and LA Spike. Because LA Spike also said something up in one of the other comments. I was a little afraid to put it on the screen because I wasn't sure what the new overlay setup. Mike, tremendous job on this. Was if it was going to bump up our video and like mess up the alignment. So I was like, I'll let one of these guys put the first comment on the screen, but it looks great. He's talking about like the AirPods being in everything for whatever. And Joe brought up a good point. They've already been using this technology. Like the NFL is going to try this in preseason with the first down marker, but the chips have already been in everything for years. Like they already kind of know that it's going to work. They just want to see the fans' reaction to it.
Bill Flames, I went Mike on the mic. With something brand new, one time for your mind. He gave you fair warning. Now it's time to smack him in the mouth with that raw sports talk from the town. Sweet chin music to your favorite sportscaster.